Good morning, good morning. Marmalade on the PCT. Kind of. So, guys, hope you enjoyed yesterday's video. Did 14.9 miles, essentially 15 miles into Seiad Valley. Got there by 10:30. I was really proud, 5:30 to 10:30, so 5 hours to do 15 miles. Admittedly, there was a lot of blowdowns early, and then the second half was road walk, which you can make time like I'm doing now. Funny, the fifth deer this morning. That's a record. I've had 2 days where I saw 3. I've seen 5 already. So, had a great night last night with everybody. Met 4 Swiss Germans going southbound the other way, so they came up this giant climb I'll tell you about, and or came down it. And then a bunch of us, they were going northbound, and they make a big dinner. We donate, it's like $15 suggested donation, which we did. And it was just an amazing time. It was nice to get done that early. I knew that would give me practically a 0. I've taken enough zeros. My feet are feeling great now, so I don't need to rest my feet unless I get more blisters. So I'm on kind of a time crunch. So let's talk about a couple things today and what I'm doing. So it's so funny. It's a 3-day section from Seiad Valley to Ashland, and I'm officially done with this. The toughest sections I can remember. You know, I had to do these trails, you have to have a short memory, and I do. I don't have much of a memory, but so I don't remember some of the tough sections. I mean, the desert was really tough for me. I know that, and so is Washington. But that was with the condition of the trail and everything. This has been a very tough section. So California, we'll be out of California in 2.5 days. The last 17 miles are in Oregon of this section. And I'll finally be done with all of California. But in true California fashion, there's one gigantic, massive climb left. Just to let you know that California was tough. I'm doing an alternate. The trail is, to get to the top, is about 10 miles and close to 5,300 feet up. 52, 53, right in there. And it's only about 20% shaded. And a little bit of water here and there, not much water. There's a big section, not too many blowdowns, by the way, only 5 or 6 supposedly. But a big section that's really, really overground, bushwhacking, actually hard to find the trail at all. But a lot of people are getting ticks. And I'm wearing shorts, as you know, but ticks and bugs love me. I've already had, in my life, 8 dig in my skin and have to dig them out. So they love me. So I'm taking an alternate. It's a road. You can see it's paved now. It'll turn into dirt. It's going to be a Forest Service road actually pretty soon. By the way, today is August 2nd. Let's go backwards. August 2nd. It's a Wednesday. And I wanted to leave at 5. I got up extra early. I cowboy camped, as you may remember, last night. So I didn't have to put my tent away, so it was much faster packing up, holy smokes. So I got up at 4:30 and was hiking by 4:56. And right now, when I started doing this intro, it was 5:56. It's just been so dark, I couldn't do it. Really interesting walking at night. I've seen a bunch of deer, like I said, and you can see it's like deer in the headlights when you have your headlamp on. Had a scary dog, though, that was barking. These rural places. Yesterday, road walking in, I had 2 dogs trying to chase me. Thankfully, stopped last minute, and a couple of mean-looking ones behind fences, thankfully. This morning, he had a very menacing growl, but he didn't chase me, thank goodness. But yeah, I want to get out of here and get out of this rural area. You can see people live out here. It's just very, very rural, and I don't blame them. So I'm doing this road, and the difference is, if you do the trail, it's 10 miles to the top part, and like 5,300 feet. This road is mostly shaded. There's water supposedly off and on all the way on. I'm using Gaia just to get back to the PCT. Gaia shows water here and there. Supposedly somebody has said there's water at mile 6 and 10. And so instead of how do you figure this? You go 10 miles to the top, and there are roly-polies, but I'm gonna do 12 miles, but connect to the PCT at mile 14.3 for the day, and actually 11.9 miles. So I'm almost exactly so when I get to the PCT, I'll cut off about 2.5 miles. You guys know I always do the trail, but I've been doing this for a few reasons: the ticks, the heat, because we'll have shade. It's the last thing is it's 4,070 feet instead of 5,300. So, you know, a lot of times I've complained where you go up, you're doing a long climb, and they go down a bunch, and then they go back up again and down. Well, there's so much down on the way up. In some ways, it's nice because it gives you a break when you're going uphill, but you end up doing 1,200 extra feet on this climb. So I'm starting to just slowly go up now, and I'm assuming it's gonna get steep. Because when they make a road for cars, of course, they don't care how steep it is because the car can go up it. But, well, I'm next to a river right now. This is a river I'll see off and on all day. And then there's water coming sideways off the mountains when we get up higher. And that's where I can collect water. So I've got about 2.5 liters right now. I haven't even drank any yet. But, so, the main thing is I'll do 12 miles, but connect to just under 12 and connect where it's almost 14.5. So I'm going to save 2.5 miles of trail. And part of the reason is not only to get up there before it gets hot, it's going to be hot today in the 90s, at least down in Seiad Valley. But the reason I'm doing this is still continuous footpath. And I would say 50% of all the hikers are doing this. So it's not just me. But because I'm on a little bit of a time crunch when it comes to Larry, my ride. So today's Wednesday. I want to get 20 something in today, and I was afraid if I go on the trail, it's so long and so steep and so hot, and I'm not the greatest at uphill. I'm slow. By the time I got to that 14.5 mile marker, it'd probably be mid-afternoon. I'd only do like probably 16 or 18 miles today, and it put me way too far behind because let's say I do 20 something tomorrow. Remember, this section is 62 miles. I don't want to get myself in a position where I have 20 to 25 miles on the third day into Ashland. He's going to be waiting for me, and we want to go to Callahan's. There's a restaurant there. I've eaten there once before, but have some lunch / early dinner. And we have a 4-hour drive to get up to Bend and Sister, where my next section is, and take a day or two off. But I just didn't, if I don't get many miles today, it sets me up for I'm planning a long day tomorrow. As the middle day is always a long day, a full day, but I don't want to have. I want to have like 15 in, so I can get there midday or so on the third day. And if I do a really poor day today, I'm gonna have. And I don't want to keep him waiting. Is that's what I'm saying. So sorry for the long explanation. It's just it's logistics. And so normally when I get into a town and I don't have to be waiting on me, it doesn't matter. If I have a short day, I have a short day. And I can make it into a 3.5 day stretch. But I want to do it in 3 days. And 62 is nothing, you know, I'm doing 24 miles a day. So if I do a 21 mile day, 3 days in a row, that's it. But I want to do more the first 2 days, so I have a short third day. It's just this giant climb. So I'm doing the road. It's going to be mostly shaded, I hear. Plenty of water here and there. There's a giant waterfall coming up, I guess, about halfway. So I'm looking forward to that you get to see. There's a second one on the map. I don't know if you can see it or not, but so that's what I'm doing. I'm using Gaia for 12 miles, 4,000 feet. Hopefully get there between, you know, maybe around 11 or 12, maybe 11. And then then start trucking on the PCT. I'll be at the mile for the day. I'll technically be at 14.3 or 5, something like that. And then I'll get another, hopefully it would be great to get another 10 miles, which is doable. The other good thing is I'll be up on top. So there's hills and stuff, but there's no more that I could see giant climbs, at least today. So it'd be more cruisy because I'll be at the top finally. Northern California, a lot of times once you get up out of these towns and do the climb, then you kind of stay up on top, and you do have bumps and stuff, but there's no other, generally speaking, giant mountains. So this is long enough. Thanks for listening, and we'll see if this is pretty or not. I don't know how much I'll show you on the road if it's not very pretty, but right now it's just road walking. seen no cars yet since over an hour ago. All right, as an add-on to this morning, I forgot to say, probably one of the most important things is it is day 150. That is 5 months out here. That includes the zeros, but I should finish 6 months or less. So we're getting there. It's kind of neat to see other hikers. Now I see this young lady went past me, she's slack packing. And two older guys like me, I think they're a little older than me. And we're all doing the road, so I feel better. Not that I need to be around anybody, but I would say of the 10 people going north, 4 or 5 of us are going on the road. So like I told you, it's about 50-50 split. It makes sense in a lot of ways. And for me, it's more of a, not only, you know, for having more shade with the trees and things like that, but I saved some time. 2.5 miles when you're going steep uphill is, for me, about 2 hours. So I've saved 2 hours, which means at the end of the day, I could get, you know, 3 to 5 more miles. So, makes sense. And it made sense to us. Well, 3 of us or 4 of us were talking, and we all had came to the same conclusion. So, I'm uphill. All right, so this is the top, and I'm getting ready to take off, and we're all just had a nice break. Had a nice trail magic there. Gave me a soda and some water. See you guys.
See ya. Didn't realize I was gonna be famous.
All right, guys, a little update. It is 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. And remember, I started at 5. This had a nice, longer than normal break, which I should do more often, but I don't. There's a lot of cool people there. So southbounders and northbounders all in one spot because there was a spring there. So I got water, and I did about 19.5 miles. And so I want to do 7.1 more. So I want to get around the 26 mile, whatever that is. I'll figure it out when I get to my tent. But I've got, man, I can't believe how much climbing. I did that long road. Then the very next thing at the top of the road was 3 miles straight up. Then as soon as I went over that, went through 103 blowdowns downhill. So that slowed me down. And now I've got 5.5 miles uphill and 1,000 feet. So that's very gradual, but it's still 1,000 feet, but it's spread out over a lot of miles. But I feel like, except for a couple miles today, I've done nothing but go uphill. So I'm going to give you the stat. I'm going to try to figure out my overall elevation. I know it was 4,070 feet just to go up the road alone. And that 3 mile one that I went up was pretty steep. So that was a lot of elevation. And then I have another 1,000 feet. So it's going to be like a 6,000 foot day today. We'll see, but it's been pretty nice overall. I'm now not in the burn, at least for now. So hopefully we don't have many blowdowns. I was told by the southbounders we don't have many left. And so we'll give you tallies and everything when we get to camp. It's 7.1 miles. I want to get there and give you some exciting news about tomorrow. So let's do it. Hey guys, I'm gonna try to do this quick. I have a few things to tell you, but man, what an amazing day. I did 26.84 miles, so almost 27. But remember, I cut off 2.5 miles. So I did, what is that? Over 24 miles, so like 24.3 is what I did of myself. So that's pretty good. The craziest other stat is between that road climb of over 4,000 and the rest of the climbing. I climbed, I think I said earlier, almost the entire day. 7,118 feet. I'm trying to think if that's my biggest climbing day ever. 7,118 feet. But like I said, I did 26 point, I should say I'm at 26.84 from where I started today, which is great news. If I can do like a 24 or 5 tomorrow, I literally only have like 10 miles into Ashland and Callahan's tomorrow, or not tomorrow, the next day. So I've got to let Larry, my my ride, know. I may get there earlier. I told him don't wait for me till at least noon. But if I camp within 10 miles, I'll be there by 10. So what else? Blowdowns. It was a weird day. There wasn't a single blowdown for the first 2/3 of the day, and the last less than 1/3 of a day. The last 8 miles, there was 145. So it was a weird day. The road had none, and when I did up one of the many steep climbs, somebody had just cleared it out. It was awesome. And then as soon as I got downhill where it got easier, it was full of blowdowns everywhere. And then there were smatterings all the way to here. So 145. We're at 1,938 with a day and a half left. Can we get to 2,000 blowdowns before we have this section done, this 560 mile chunk from Truckee Donner Pass up to Ashland? We have a day and a half and we only need 62s. I think we're going to be able to do it, but I heard from Southlanders there's not a ton, so whatever that means. Oh, and unless I think of something else, the big news I have for tomorrow, and actually I forgot to look at it, but I'll tell you in the morning. But tomorrow we enter Oregon. So tomorrow I've completed every single mile of California. Isn't that amazing? I think it's pretty close. Somebody said a while back it was like 14 and we've done 7. So maybe it's around 7 miles from here. I don't actually know, but that'll be for the intro tomorrow's video. But thanks for watching today. I'm sorry so long. Every time I come out of town, a new town, there's a lot to tell you. That's why the opening was so long. And I just killed it today. I felt good. I was worn out. I'm worn out by now, but oh, I know what I was going to tell you. I started at 4:56 this morning, and I got done at 4:50 p.m. So just about 6 minutes under 12 hours. And I told you, tomorrow I'll get up at 5:30 or 4:45 to hike at 5:30. If I start at 5:30, I want to quit around 5:30. So I'm eyeing a spot that's about 25 miles from here, but it looks like there's some climbing again tomorrow, so we'll see. The last day, the third day, not tomorrow, but the next day into Ashland, it looks like it's all downhill all the way to the parking lot, so that's great. I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, I want to try to get to the top of the hill or a little on that downhill, and then the last 10 miles the next day will be into Ashland. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.